Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. The weekend is upon us. That means we have to think of things in terms of entertainment. Arnold Davick joins us now with the latest from Hollywood. Good morning, Arnold. Good to have you with us.
Good morning, Ken.
Well, it's definitely the thing we want to do on a weekend. We want to hear about entertainment news and think about things to do. And I see that Katy Perry is headed out on tour. She's going to be making a stop in the Garden State. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And her fans are so excited because it's been 7 years since her last tour. Of course, she was pretty busy over those 7 years because she was judging American Idol, but she did leave the show last year. So it seems like some time is freed up in her schedule to give her fans exactly what they have been wanting for a while now. The tour is called the Lifetimes Tour, and it's for her album that she released in September of last year, which is called 143. And so she's going to be hitting a little over 24 cities in the US at least. And of course, she will be making a stop here in Jersey, in Newark. She will have a show that is set for August 14th at the Prudential Center. So a lot to look forward to there. The tickets will be available as of January 31st. So if you want to nab one of those, those are going to be hot tickets. It's been so long. And of course, her music is absolutely amazing. There's so many great old hits as well as all of the new music. A lot to look forward to there.
People are going to want to hear her roar. Just saying. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. That's my dad humor. Sorry. Listen, this week RFK Jr. of course was on the hot seat being grilled in the Senate, and his cousin Caroline Kennedy, the daughter of JFK, had called him a predator. So of course people were going to have a spotlight on him. So his wife of nearly 11 years, Curb Your Enthusiasm star Cheryl Hines, was there to offer support and very ostentatiously gave him a huge kiss. So is that something that was being talked about?
Yeah, it's definitely made headlines, and the actress, Cheryl Hines, has received a lot of backlash on social media from this move of hers, where she's really just simply showing up for her husband and supporting him, but it is amid these allegations that his cousin Carolyn Kennedy has put out there. This was a video that was uploaded to social media, several minutes long, where she details several allegations. Of course, none of them confirmed, and as of now, RFK Jr. Nor his wife have really addressed what was said in that video. But in the allegations, she does call him a predator, and she does say that he is unqualified for this position. Of course, he is President Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, but his wife Cheryl is showing her support for him, and so there are these images going around of this kiss that they shared right before the hearing began. There's also another image where the two are walking hand in hand, and of course she was sitting directly behind him as he answered questions. So
Yes.
she's really letting everyone know that these allegations may be out there, but she's going to stick by her husband.
Yeah, you saw in every camera shot, she was over this shoulder here. She was over his right shoulder the whole time. Her face was perfectly in frame, and you could see that she
Yeah.
always had a poker face on, so you didn't know where she was thinking. It was a very interesting statement that she was making that way. All right, J Lo. That's someone who I don't know. There's no controversy there. She's gorgeous. She sings amazingly. She dances amazingly. She looks half her age, and she got quite the standing O at Sundance. So tell us about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you said it right there. She is an actress, she dances and she sings, but this is really the first time that we're going to get to see her take on all of those different roles and talents that she has in just one role in a musical. And so she's said that this being in this movie fulfilled a lifelong dream for her. As she was talking to the audience at the Sundance Film Festival, she told them after they gave her a standing ovation, really applauding her performance in this film. She said that this was an opportunity for her to live out her childhood dreams. She recalled watching West Side Story and being inspired by that, and wanting to be acting and singing and dancing. She also reflected on what her career has been up until
Sure.
this point, or leading up to this film, where
Jenny from the Bronx.
she was known for her rom-coms and she was known for several films, but then she also had her singing and music career on this other side. But now she's getting to put all of this together, and she really got emotional, and it was so exciting
Yeah.
to see her really excited and happy that people are really receiving this way.
She really hasn't. It's amazing that it's just this stage in her career. She's as hot as she was 20 years ago. She's unbelievably talented, just an amazing talent. She's right here in the Bronx, too. All right, we got about 30 seconds left. What are some of the hot movies we could look forward to this weekend?
Absolutely. So we have to talk about Flight Risk, which is out now, starring Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace. It's about a pilot that is transporting an air marshal and a fugitive, and on this flight, these people's identities and intentions on board, they come kind of into question. So it sounds like a little bit of a thriller, and it's directed by Mel Gibson. So definitely one to look out for. And Nosferatu continues to do so well in the box office. That stars, of course, Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, and also includes Willem Dafoe and Aaron Taylor Johnson. So that's also been nominated for several Oscars. So definitely go check that one out, Nosferatu.
Excellent. If anybody wants to reach out to you, it's why I was frantically looking down at my phone. It's at Arnold NYC TV on X, Insta, and Threads. Arnold Davick, entertainment reporter. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, you bet. It is now time to get a check of the Garden State forecast. Meteorologist Mike Favetta. Now you know what to do for the weekend, Mike. I know it's not like you have anything to do with a baby and a wife and a home. No, you're going to go out and see a movie.
That would be lovely. Just pass Nino off to the family. Say, here you go. You can change diapers for the rest of the day. Well, Stephanie and I will go enjoy some us time. But with all of the cold weather in the forecast, it's kind of the weekend that maybe you do want to stay indoors. It'll feel quite chilly throughout the rest of our Friday going into Saturday, with temperatures that already feel like they're down in the teens and single digits. Some pretty chilly weather on the way going into the afternoon. And with that, of course, my clicker just breaks. With that, we'll have a little bit more cool weather on the way going into the next few days, and I think some drier periods as well as we head into the next few afternoons. So with all of the cold weather that's forecast through the next few afternoons, the wind chill holds in the 30s and stays there at least for the next few days, with the chilly weather forecast at least going into the middle of the week. There'll be plenty of that cool weather around forecast going into probably the Thursday, Friday timeframe. So here's a look at Saturday afternoon, starting off in the morning with temperatures chilly in the 20s. We'll eventually climb into the 20s throughout the afternoon, and then climb out of that into 40 and 50 degree territory by Monday. So much milder weather on the way, even as we head into the middle of the week, with that cool weather forecast, I think, taking us into the better part of our Wednesday and Thursday. Overall, it's going to be a rather, I'd say, mild start to the weekend, but it's the chilly feeling that takes over, with that cool feeling ahead throughout the middle of the week. And those temperatures will hold, Ken, in the 50s by Monday, ultimately climbing back into the mid-50s through the next week. We've got the 7-day forecast coming up. We'll detail that, show you what's on tap for our first week of February. That's coming up in just a bit.
I love the chill, the 50s. Of course, I love the word chilly, but not when it refers to the temperature. It's a whole other
Yeah.
story. It's a food thing. Thank you so much, meteorologist Mike Favetta. We'll be checking back with you. All right, you talk about football players, and that usually sparks thoughts of 6'6" tall, 275-pound brutes. You may have to rethink all that. New Jersey's about to get a new football team, only this one will be an all women's football team. The Jersey Shore Wave is New Jersey's new WNFL franchise. The team's debut game will be Saturday, April 5th in Patterson at Hinchcliffe Stadium, when the Jersey Shore Wave hosts the Washington Prodigy. Joining us now is the owner of the Jersey Shore Wave, Don Sherman. Welcome to you, Don. Good to have you on this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Ken. How are you?
You bet. Doing great. I'm excited. I went online, I took a look at some of these women players. And if you, let's put it this way, just remove from your brain the thought of women versus men or whatever. You watch this, you will get into the game. These women are giving it heart and soul. It is unbelievable. When did you first see the demand for a women's football league?
It's interesting. The demand has been out there for many years. I think it's a little known fact that we have thousands of women playing professional tackle football in the United States for many years. And women just up to this point haven't received the recognition. There's not the general awareness that there are women out there playing professional tackle football. The game attendance, the pay, all of these things are lagging behind men, but these women are out there giving it their all. And let me tell you, it is a professional and good game to watch.
There is nothing like no holes barred. This is serious football, and it was fascinating to see. And in fact, I dare say that if you don't mention, because I know there are going to be preconceptions, but if you never mention that it's a women's football league and you're in a sports bar, you would think it's a bunch of guys because of the force that these women are knocking each other down. I mean, this is serious football. It's like they're like going above and beyond with the
Right.
heart and soul. Now, let me ask you, how long has the WNFL been around?
So it's the WNFC, the Women's National Football Conference. It's been
Excuse
around.
me.
We're entering our sixth season this year. We are the Jersey Shore Wave, a new expansion team into the league, and there are 17 teams across the country playing in our league.
And there have been other women's leagues formed in the past. Some were received so-so, and some were received better, et cetera. But now there seems to be an absolute growing demand, as you mentioned, for the sport right now. What do you think accounts for that?
I think that women's sports in general are getting some of the recognition that they've really deserved for many, many years. These women are putting their heart and soul into the game. They take it really seriously. And, you think about who these women are, they're teachers, paramedics, businesswomen, police officers. These women are working full-time jobs and finding time to play a sport that they love at the professional level. These are women who give back to their local communities. They're your friends, your neighbors, your family. And I just think overall that the sport has not received the recognition, but it's going to now. We have a really professional league. We're going to put on a great show. And at the Hinchliffe Stadium, where we can see 10,000 fans, we expect to fill that stadium for our season opener and all the games this season.
We see that there's obviously a growing demand for more football, and I've heard different. A friend of mine is a psychologist and has a whole theory behind it about how this goes back to the time of the gladiators and how people literally live vicariously through the people on the field, and you just take on the persona of me versus them, right? And it just gives you a few hours of escape as a fan, and it's just fascinating to see. And it's just awesome to see these women in such passion. It's wonderful to see this. And what are the differences between the WNFC and say NFL in terms of rules? Are there any differences in the rules between the games?
Not many. There are a few rules that are different in the actual game itself, but I think if the fans came to a game, they're going to think that they're at a professional football game. And like you said, when the team's on the field and they're playing and putting their heart into it, you aren't going to really be able to recognize that there's any difference in the sport. This is professional tackle football.
That's awesome. And what now, if they're working full-time jobs, and many of them could be parents, what kind of training do they do
Yes.
on top of their full-time work? How do they find the time?
Yeah, it's a great question. And one of the mission, or a mission or a goal that we have is to be able to make it so that these women can earn a living wage playing this sport that they love. But you're right, they are parents, they're working full-time jobs, they are busy. And on top of all of that, they put in all the effort and their time. They practice several times a week. This is an all year round effort, even though we play what some might consider relatively short season, starting in March and ending in June. But they are on their game. And you can see here in the clips that you're showing, these women are practicing and they're practicing hard to get ready for the season.
Absolutely. What is your website so that if people want to get tickets, they could do that?
Thank you. Yes, tickets are available. It's jerseyshorefb.com. And you will very easily be able to see the link to click for tickets. We're also, of course, these women and the team are all looking for sponsorship from the local community. So there is the opportunity to sponsor, or donate to the team if you'd like to do that as well.
Yeah, I
We
have no
also, by the
problem,
way,
by the
are
way, when
willing
I
to accept
go ahead, go ahead.
volunteers. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I was just going to
no,
say
no,
we
no, please go
also
ahead.
are always looking for volunteers.
Also, what would the volunteers do?
So we need help with everything, game day operations, people to do video or photography for us. We've had some great photographers and videographers up to this point, but we're always looking for more support. But game day operations, it takes an army to put on a great game, and it's a big stadium. And so we're looking for people who want to volunteer their time and just get involved with the team and the league overall.
And if you look back to old black and white films of the origins, the beginnings of the pre-NFL, when football was, and when they wore the leather helmets and stuff, right? I mean, that was all volunteer. These people didn't get paid. It was all the passion of the game, and you could see these women have that passion. It's going to be fascinating. So you could check them out on April 5th at Hinchcliffe Stadium in Patterson, the WNFC's New Jersey franchise, the Jersey Shore Wave. I wish you the best. I hope this takes off because I know that there's a passion for more football out there. Owner Don Sherman, best of luck, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. Have a great day. And a judge sentenced disgraced former Democratic Senator Bob Menendez to 11 years in prison Wednesday. The sentence, the harshest ever handed down to a U.S. Senator. Breaking down in tears, Menendez pleaded with U.S. District Judge Sidney Stein for mercy in a New York City courtroom. Prosecutors had requested a 15-year sentence for 71-year-old Menendez after he had been convicted last July on 16 counts of bribery, extortion, conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. He is the first U.S. Senator in American history to be convicted of working as a foreign agent. Outside the courthouse, Menendez proclaimed his innocence, calling his prosecution a witch hunt by the Justice Department. In what sounded like a call for a Trump federal pardon, Menendez said, "President Trump is right. This process is political and it's corrupted to the core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores integrity to the system." At the first press conference of President Trump's second term, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the drones that had been seen over New Jersey were, quote, not the enemy. Secretary Leavitt said the drones were authorized for research by the FAA. You'll recall many of those mysterious orbs were spotted flying in coordinated formations, freaking a lot of people out. Leavitt added that the FAA had authorized the drones for research and other unspecified reasons. Then she said, quote, many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse, of course, because people got curious and then they started flying their own drones, and that led to more questions from other people. The announcement left some crucial questions unanswered. Who was behind the drones? What kind of research are you talking about? Well, the FAA had never disclosed the alleged research during its initial investigation. The Biden administration insisted in December there was no evidence of anything nefarious after the sightings were linked to both China and Iran, but it also admitted it was not able at the time to verify the thousands of reports of unidentified craft. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We're coming right back. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Disgraced Democrat former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez receives his sentence. Here's New Jersey Globe editor David Wildstein with the Inside Edge.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Edge. Today is Thursday, January 30th, and a chastened Bob Menendez appeared in federal court yesterday and was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison for accepting bribes and illegally representing a foreign government. He'll be behind bars until he's in his 80s, maybe. And I say maybe because Menendez walked out of the courtroom yesterday afternoon, stood in front of a podium filled with microphones in front of a large group of reporters, and he announced his candidacy for a pardon. Menendez is no longer seeking the votes of 6 million New Jerseyans. Now, to Bob Menendez, there is only one voter, and his name is Donald J. Trump. and his entire post-sentencing remarks were targeted at Trump. It was a part of a clear strategy to obtain a presidential pardon or a commutation, something that would help him avoid prison entirely. And after 50 years in politics, if there's one thing that Bob Menendez knows how to do, it's count votes. And he's campaigning on a message that he thinks Trump will go for. I mean, he beats the crap out of Joe Biden's U.S. attorney and out of his Justice Department. And let me read what he said. He said, "I'm innocent and look forward to my appeal on a whole host of issues. But let me just say that this whole process has been nothing but a political witch hunt by the Justice Department's NSD and prosecutors who are more interested in political scalps and preparing to run for political office like Damian Williams." I mean, he accused the Southern District of New York with a litany of allegations of prosecutorial misconduct. He cited a bunch of examples, and he said, "Welcome to the Southern District of New York, the Wild West of political prosecutions." And he gets to his closing, and he plays directly to Trump's core belief on Biden prosecutors. He says President Trump is right. This process is political and has been corrupted to the core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores integrity to the system. And Menendez is a shrewd guy, so he tweeted out his statement and he tagged President Trump. Now this isn't an easy call for Trump. His MAGA base is, I'd say they're inclined to view Menendez as a corrupt, crooked, liberal, sleazy grifter who sold out his country in exchange for some gold bars and a Mercedes. It's a tough sell to make Bob Menendez a martyr in the eyes of conservative Republicans, but this is Bob Menendez's last campaign, and I think that's what he's going to do. That's everything for today, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Sleazy, he's dirty, he's a liberal, but he's going to try to paint himself a nice guy. Only David Wildstein could paint it that way. Awesome, man. All right, it is time to check the Garden State forecast now. Meteorologist Mike Favetta has all the details for us. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning to you, Ken. We've got a pretty decent weekend ahead. Lots of sunshine on Saturday. Really looking forward to that, as well as the milder weather that arrives from Monday. But first, a little bit of a cloudy day in between, and that's on Sunday, where highs climb to 37 degrees. The Futurecast shows it nicely. Now, after all of that rain falls on Friday, even a little bit of ice there in northern New Jersey, those ice and winter weather advisories for Morris, Sussex, and Warren counties. But beyond that, it's a very wet day, and with rainfall amounts anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, it'll be a soggy finish with a little bit of a possible ponding on the roads by the end of the day. Going into Saturday morning, though, it's a cloudy start but a clear finish. Lots of sunshine returning for Saturday afternoon with a chill to the air, but at least the sun should help it feel milder. By Saturday late in the evening, temperatures cool back down into the 20s, leading to a chilly and cloudy Sunday. You see a blip of blue there on the map. Some of those flurries could be working by in the northern counties as a snowmaker passes off to our north, but that clipper really shouldn't impact us here in the Garden State throughout the weekend. There's all the snow later on for Friday. It's the rain for us that really gives us a good soaking, where the worst of the rain and worst of the drought, rather, is occurring in the central and southern portions of the state. Sunshine on Saturday leads to those cloudy conditions on Sunday. The snow stays to the north, and then we're quiet but mild to start off next week, the first full week of February. Look what happens by Wednesday, though. Some shades of pink entering southern and central New Jersey, transitioning to rain there, and then some blue showing up in the northern sections of the state. All of that leading to another round of of potential winter weather by the middle of next week. So keep that on your radar, especially making plans for the middle of the week, starting off February. With all of the rain moving by on Friday, it's a clear day on Saturday thanks to the high pressure that slides on down. A beautiful way to start off the weekend, but a cloudy finish, and that'll lead to a little bit of an easterly breeze pulling in those clouds, keeping temperatures cool, leading to that snow, which stays off to our north. There's the drought situation, all of that red showing up in central and southern New Jersey. And now this updates at the end of the week. So we are in the severe drought extending north now, right up along Route 78 and the southern edge of 287 there. That's a bit worse than it was last week. So the drought continues here in New Jersey, doesn't get better, actually gets a little worse this week. And the temperature stays mild. Looking forward to the middle of the month, look at all that mild weather that'll be working its way northward, allowing for warmer than average temperatures for the beginning to the middle of the month. And then right through, say, Valentine's Day, higher than average chances of rainfall. And the month as a whole, slightly above average for temperatures. So I think we'll see that milder trend take over even over the next several days. Speaking of the 7-day forecast, next several days show with the clearing on Saturday, lots of sunshine there, clouds on Sunday. Monday is really mild, 50 or better. Some places may reach the mid to upper 50s, especially in southern New Jersey. But the cold air is just enough in play that I think the winter weather on Wednesday could be some cause for concern. So a little bit of a midweek mess there by shaping up by Wednesday of next week with that snow and rain moving in across New Jersey. That's the northern New Jersey forecast. For South Jersey, you have highs climbing to 43 with sunshine on Saturday. Clouds take over for Sunday and Monday with a high of 52. So back up into the low 50s, maybe even some upper 50s in the extreme southwestern corner of the state. By Tuesday and Wednesday, there will be some rain chances, I think, moving in through the middle of the week. But overall, a milder trend, or at least slightly above average, going into the first few weeks of February. We'll keep you posted on what's going on, Ken, with weather updates all throughout the weekend on ONNJ.com.
I have a question. When you go to meteorology school, is there like a whole section that they teach you on alliteration? I noticed every meteorologist I've ever worked with, a midweek mess, you know, a I don't know, bicoastal burr.
That comes, I think, with the news, training. All of the news, because those news producers, they love alliteration. They love to make sure it's a catchy phrase. I think it just gets, kind of beaten into my head over the years.
So you blame us. Okay, fine. No, it's all good. Listen, you should have a doctorate. You have a PhD in alliteration. It's a wonderful thing. But even more importantly, you should have your PhD in meteorology because you're darn good at it. Thank you so much, meteorologist Mike Favetta. Have a wonderful weekend, sir.
You too.
All right. Thanks so much. Remember, you could see us on ONNJ.com, Roku, Fire TV, News On, Samsung TV Plus, Apple TV, YouTube, streaming also on Facebook, and even on X. We're everywhere. So if people ever come up to you and say, where can I see On New Jersey? You just pull out the list and say, here, just about everywhere. You can also just Google On New Jersey, ONNJ.com, and you could see the whole list. And that does it for On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.